were in attendance at the Bud Day Memorial in Sioux City this morning. Of course, many of you know Bud is a native son of Sioux City, Medal of Honor winner, former prisoner of war. Wonderful man. I had a chance to get to know him much later in his life, and he was a great person, a great mentor. And as a retired Air Force fighter pilot, we had a lot in common. He was a legend for us in our service because he was shot down the same year I went into the United States Air Force Academy in 1967. So we had a lot of, I knew about Bud Day long before Bud Day ever knew about me because he was truly a great American hero. And we were very privileged to be there today to help honor him in his final memorial. And so he passed away a week ago down in Florida. And the family, many of the members were back up, and it was a great turnout from the part of the community, having a big hangar, about 600 people in attendance today. So it was a marvelous tribute to a great hero. Well, I'm running for the United States Senate. I'm from Hinton, Iowa, which is a little town north of Sioux City in Plymouth County. And I'm a native of Kansas, born and raised there. Received a commission to the United States Air Force Academy and the United States Military Academy in 1967. I chose the Air Force, and 4 years later graduated with a commission and a degree in political science. I spent 25 years in the Air Force on active duty, most of that time as a fighter pilot. And before you say anything, it's back when I was quite literally half the man I am today. So, I could easily fit into those things back then, not so much today. After my retirement, I made the rank of full colonel, retired as the Inspector General of NORAD and U.S. Space Command, and then went into the private sector. Was a very successful businessman, working for several companies, finishing most of my business career with Northrop Grumman as working on I ran an operation out of Montgomery, Alabama, where we had operations from Honolulu, Hawaii, to Ramstein, Germany. And so I was very fortunate to have a tremendous number of opportunities in the business world that were very rewarding for me. Along the way, I picked up a doctorate in public administration and decided that I wanted a change of life, and I've always enjoyed teaching. And I had been teaching a little bit as an adjunct off and on, and so I decided to enter the academic world full time. So now I'm a tenured full professor at Morningside College in Sioux City. I'm the chair of the Department of Business Administration and Economics there. And my background is obviously business, public administration, but the area that I concentrate a lot of my time in is in economics and public choice economics. Along the way, I picked up a lot of work at working in the Department of Homeland Security, and so I know a lot about that place. And I'm still a lecturer at the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey. And believe it or not, the lecture that I give, I'm usually there. We have these executive learning programs, what we call executive leadership programs for the Department of Homeland Security. These are people from all over the country that come in to Monterey, California. It's not bad duty to go to Monterey. And these are people who are chiefs of police, general counsels, fire chiefs, state emergency management directors, members of Department of Homeland Security, executive appointees, political appointees. And what do you think their very first lecture is that they get? The one I give, the very first lecture that they get in this class. What's that? No. The very first lecture they get is on federalism. Federalism. People who have been in government 30 years need a lecture on federalism because they may be in government, but they do not understand government. That's the state of play today in the United States. That's where we are. The people that we trust our resources and frankly our blood and kin to need help understanding what this government is all about. what we do or don't do with that blood and treasure that we have out there. One of the reasons I'm running for the United States Senate is because I think that we are being asked over and over again to deal with more of the same. We have people who look at going to the United States Senate. It's a nice gig if you can get it. They go there and they want to spend the next 30 years there because it's perpetual payment, perpetual life, perpetual power, perpetual influence inside the Beltline. Every special interest in America is invested in that organization and institution, the United States Senate. Every special interest except one. The one special interest that ought to be represented the most, and that's you. The people that we have sent to the United States Senate across this country, with some rare exceptions, are there to represent everything and everybody but you. I'm running because I think I can speak for you. I've served this nation all my life, and I'm choosing to serve it again. That's why I'm running for the Senate. Because what I will do as the United States Senator is what is best for this nation. And if it's best for the nation, it is by definition best for the state of Iowa. That's what I intend to do. You can go to my website, samclovis.com. You can see where I stand on all of the issues. Most of you are technically savvy, or you wouldn't be sitting in this room right now. Because that's what we're talking about today, is technology and how to use technology to win elections. And that's what we're about, trying to win elections. But when I go there, I'm going to represent you. The only promise that I've made, and I will make this to everyone, is that I will always tell you the truth. I'll look you in the eye and I'll tell you the truth. And if we don't agree, then we don't agree. But you're going to get it straight. And I think this is something fresh, something new. At least I'm finding this out. And people are finding this something that's very encouraging to them. And I hope it is. The thing that bothers me is that it's so fresh and it's so new. This ought to be what every politician stands up and talks to you about. Well, the good news is I'm not a career politician. This is the first public office I've ever sought in my life. But I think the body of my work, my life, my accomplishments, my achievements, my focus, everything about what I've done has prepared me for this moment. And if you want to know what I think, go online and you can find every paper I've written, everything I've ever done. It's out there. It's out there. In fact, even my opponents on the Republican side are starting to read my papers now. I think it's fun just to find out what makes me tick. But you'll find out my focus is on the Constitution and this nation. I believe in God, I believe in this country, and I believe in you. Thank you very much for your time.